day, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you're from. This is Glenn Satchfield with DMI, VP of Marketing for DMI. We really appreciate you joining today's DMI University webinar, Estate Planning Opportunities Advisors Miss. We know estate planning can sometimes feel technical, complicated, or even outside the comfort zone for many advisors. But the reality is, there are many major opportunities being missed when these conversations don't happen. So today we're going to simplify that and show you how estate planning can become a much more natural and valuable part of your client engagement process. So we're very pleased to welcome Katie Knowles, the managing owner of Advisors EP LLC and a master certified estate planner. Katie's a former financial professional with deep experience creating estate planning content and tools that help advisors serve clients more effectively. And then joining her is Tyrell Jensen, DMI's VP of Annuity Sales, whose practical advisor-focused approach helps financial professionals turn planning conversations into real business and client impact. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy the conversation today. To get the most out of it, please use the Q&A function. Don't hesitate. We may grab a few questions here and there during the presentation, but more than likely we'll keep the Q&A for the end. But you can also use the chat if you like. But thanks again for being here, Katie and Tyrell. And Tyrell, I will hand it off to you to add some thoughts.
Perfect. Appreciate it, Glenn. I just appreciate everybody being here. I wanted to say estate planning has been something that has been an integral part of my whole process in my journey through this career in the financial planning side. As a lot of you that work with DMI already know, I've worked in the field and grew up in a family practice. And we ended up in the early 2000s making estate planning a integral part of our process in financial planning, and found it to be extremely beneficial, not only for us, but even more so for our clients. And we found that it rounded out our practice and made us a much better financial advisor because we brought in that estate planning side to help make sure our clients were taken care of. So I'm excited for everybody to be here. I'm excited to hear what Katie has to share. And I'm really grateful for her partnership with DMI and being able to offer this to you guys. If there are any questions that you guys have about working with DMI, if you currently don't work with DMI and how you might be able to work with DMI and partner with Katie, feel free to reach out to me. I have my QR code here. I know it's kind of probably small on your screen, but my information is available there for you to reach out. And I believe at the end, probably be able to pop up some information and be able to reach out to me if you have questions on that aspect. But don't want to take any more time away from Katie's presentation. So from there, I'll turn it over to her.
All right, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, so just bear with me while I get that together. All right, great. So if you'll all take a minute just to go ahead and fill out that first estate planning poll, I'd appreciate it. That gives me an idea of where we are today, what are the current estate plan offerings everyone's using. While you're doing that, I'll do the standard intro, tell you a little bit about myself. One, I'm Katie Knowles. I'm going to be your guide today. I have a pretty typical about me. I'm a mom, a business owner, a volunteer, a troop leader, and a nerd. I love estate planning. And as always, I'm going to do my very best to bring the most value and insights and clarity to the table today. And thank you for joining. So let's jump in and let's get to the good stuff. I really appreciate you all answering the poll. Thank you so much for participating. This is super, super helpful. It looks like, okay, all right, a fair portion of you are discussing it, but not delivering it, referring it out, but not tracking outcomes. This is all very typical. You've got a process, but it's time heavy. That's such a burden. I hear you. And then you offer it in-house. That's awesome. So even if you offer it in-house, please stay on till the end today. I promise you, I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks, things that you may not have thought about how to leverage before. So whether or not you decide to do this yourself or outsource, I mean, this is going to be beneficial. All right. Well, thanks for doing that. I really appreciate that. All right. So just a really brief overview of what you are going to learn today. We are going to be talking about most advisors and the big wins that you're missing from estate planning, the things that you might be overlooking. maybe you're overlooking them and you already offer the service. Maybe you're overlooking them because you're not offering the service. So a couple of different aspects in how to view those. But what's at risk by missing those opportunities or not offering the services in general? How AEP benefits advisors, how AEP benefits clients, what AEP does, and your role in the process. All right, let's dig into why most advisors miss the big wins from estate planning. The real challenge is execution. It's just that simple. If you don't currently offer estate planning, let me convert this apple scenario into oranges for you. Think about the challenge you already face, having a client implement a new financial plan or even part of it. All the hiccups and hurdles you encounter along the way, this doesn't go away. It's unavoidable. Today, we're focusing on solutions to the new challenge advisors face, the challenge of executing your plan or idea to implementing estate plan. The challenge of executing your plan or idea to implement estate planning in your practice and getting clients to complete their plans once you do. I'm sure you can all relate to that. Again, I've been in your shoes. I know how difficult it is. So the challenges for advisors are the lack of time. It's your bandwidth, your desire to prioritize this. You have a fear. Maybe that's unauthorized practice of law or just your lack of knowledge in general. If you don't know a subject or if you don't really understand and comprehend a subject as nuanced as estate planning, how are you expected to have an educated conversation on it? And then that underlying doubt that I think a lot of people experience, which is just questions or concerns about your ability to execute something and do it well. So not only can I do this, but can I do it well? And then are there any issues with compliance regulations that you're considering? So these are all sort of the things that lie in the back of our minds. And if those are the challenges that are holding you back or they're preventing you from implementing estate planning services, there's a cost to this. And the cost is that there are negative consequences potentially. And in the race to offer it all, the cost of failing to or not opting to offer estate planning services, what does that look like? What it looks like for you, the advisor, is lost clients. Widows and heirs often switch advisors when they don't feel a strong connection. Some heirs choose a new advisor, even when they've never worked with. If they believe your relationship was mainly with the deceased spouse, that can definitely be a problem. There's some underlying strain there. Loss of assets, missed opportunities to retain assets during the great wealth transfer, damage to perceived value and reputation, damage to your firm's value proposition and perceived value is what I'm talking about. Nobody's going to go out there and say, oh, that John Smith, he's a terrible advisor because he doesn't offer estate planning services. But when someone's looking at your firm compared to another, especially during the great wealth transfer or when we're talking about a surviving spouse, they are comparing what your firm brings to the table, especially if they don't have a relationship with you. And then increasing client attrition rates. This is something that we all struggle with. We've got a little bit of a different scenario now than we did 10 years ago, with there being a shortage of advisors and us facing a massive portion of advisors retiring. But this is a real solution to declining client retention rates that can be sacrificed. So a real solution to declining client retention rates is sacrificed, is the better way to word that. And then that's the cost in terms of revenue and missed opportunity. But there's another cost most advisors don't think about. And that's the one that can affect you the most. It's the biggest risk that we face. And it's the conversations that we're not having with our clients. So if your client becomes incapacitated and no one has the authority to act, that's a risk. How will you continue to manage the assets? A trusted contact is a great place to start, but it's just not enough. If the surviving spouse doesn't have a strong relationship with you, that's a risk. But how do you get to know and build a vested relationship with someone who may have taken a back seat to their own financial planning? And now think about clients who have been purposely excluded from the process, even though they probably would have preferred to be included. What's their opinion of you and your firm? Will they stay with you? Probate delays. If the trust exists but isn't funded, that's a risk. And beneficiaries don't look fondly on the advisor who has zero knowledge of beneficiary designations that are incorrect or assets that should have been updated to help them avoid probate. You can ask clients, do you have an estate plan? And that's a great start. You can add a note to their file saying they have their estate planning documents. But that is not the same thing as having a coordinated and comprehensive plan that you understand. When life happens, these gaps and oversights become very real and very apparent to the surviving spouses and beneficiaries. And eventually, no matter what, life will test your firm, its attention to detail, and its commitment to comprehensive planning. So when that life test happens, will you keep the client? Every advisor, seasoned or brand new, will eventually sit across from a grieving spouse or family member. Again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the next big question in that moment, are you the trusted guide who understands the plan and next steps? Or are you meeting the new decision makers for the first time while you're trying to figure it out? The advisor who helped to implement the plan understands the deceased's goals and intentions. They know the survivors. That advisor is indispensable. The advisor who doesn't often gets replaced, not because they weren't competent. That's definitely not what I'm saying. It's because they weren't involved. If you want to prevent this, you're off to a great start. You're here today and you're listening, hopefully. And there's good news. There is a way to offer estate planning without sacrifice and stress. Before we go there, I want to layer in one more reality for you, which is another cost. And that's the future value of your book of business. You might be thinking, wait a minute, how is this even related? Many advisors in this webinar and in this industry will retire within the next 10 to 15 years. We're facing an advisor shortage on top of it. If you're new to this industry and you're trying to figure out how to get to that first million or that next 10 million under management, kudos to you for being here. I'm going to show you a way that will help you achieve that. For my retiring advisors, when the time comes, the value of your book of business won't just be tied to AUM. It's going to be based on retention and integration. What does this all mean? For seasoned advisors, when you're selling your book to the next generation, they're looking for more. Younger advisors are hungry and they're looking for ways to grow their practices. They may already offer estate planning services or are strongly considering it because they have the time to focus on it. A book of business where the advisor understands the estate plan, knows the trustees, and is connected to the family is far more durable and far more valuable than one built only on account balances and consistent returns. While that's important, it isn't as competitive as it used to be. Remember, you're being asked to offer it all and do it all to stay competitive. Estate planning not only strengthens short-term retention, it strengthens widow retention and beneficiary retention during the great wealth transfer. This will strengthen the future of your practice if it's done right and it's done well. This isn't about offering more or just protecting, or this isn't about just offering more. It's about protecting what you've built. So for those concerned with unauthorized practice of law, if this is what's been stopping you, remember this. You're their advisor, so advise them. There is nothing wrong with pointing out the glaringly obvious fact that they most likely or do need an estate plan. Every adult needs an estate plan. So now onto the fun part, how advisors win with AEP. And here we are. For those unfamiliar with AEP, which is short for Advisors Estate Planning, we're an estate planning solution that is truly outsourced. We're not a hybrid DIY model like some of the platforms you've heard of or maybe using. We're not asking you to lead the process or input responses. We do it all for you. Your wins are that you'll be delivering on your promise to provide comprehensive estate planning. Clients will be made aware of and extremely satisfied with your firm's well-rounded value proposition and services. You're gaining new prospects and converting them to clients, and that's a huge perk of the process. But discovering assets held away and creating new opportunities with existing clients is a win like none other. AEP turns estate planning into tangible outcomes. Assets are uncovered, new conversations are started, clients are re-engaged, and you're building stronger family relationships or forging new bonds without needing to implement a new service. If you haven't thought about how this affects onboarding new clients, I would highly encourage you to do so. This expedites data collection, eliminates redundant tasks for clients, and provides you with immediate revenue-generating considerations. For advisors who choose to partner with AEP, you can expect us to deliver the perks of this more in depth during your introductory phone call. We'll go over everything with you and give you the real nitty-gritty of what it is that you can expect to take away from this versus this sort of 20,000-foot overview. And then the best part is that it's free for advisors to partner with us. So this is more than growth and retention. I don't want to let that slip away from our focus here. Estate planning is more than that. Or is that? It is about growth and retention, but it's more than getting the documents alone. Sorry about that. It's about retaining your position as a family's primary source for financial planning services as well. So it is growth and retention, but it's also retaining your current place in their lives and not letting that slip away. It's more than just the documents. And what's your ROI? What's your takeaway? Higher retention during the Great Wealth Transfer, a stronger comprehensive client value proposition, better organization during client incapacity and death. If you have yet to go through this and you've been through it when it is unorganized, I can tell you this is a massive benefit. It's a clear path to completing funding and accounting updates. We're not giving you a sheet that says, great, now go have we're not giving your clients this sheet that says, great, now go have your advisor fund your trust. We're giving them specific funding instructions. We are telling you exactly what to do with each account. And then we're leading the client back to you to have that conversation about accomplishing those goals. It's more than planning opportunities. I like that I said more planning opportunities, but here I'm thinking it is more than planning opportunities because it's everything all together in one process and you're not doing it yourself. You have somebody that's doing it for you. You are taking things off your plate. You are not putting things on your plate and expediting portions of it, like onboarding of new clients. And the added benefit is that not only is this free for you to use, but you're also going to find that you're reducing costs in some areas. You're not asking your staff to take care of this. You're not sacrificing your time to take care of this. You're focused on the things that you should be focused on. And you may end up reducing your prospecting costs in the long run because those fulfilling the roles within the estate plan are often the qualified prospects that you're looking for. And we're here to help introduce them to you in a warm introduction, not a cold call. So for clients, what is the ROI? Confidence in you and that you have the tools that they need, confidence that their decisions are clear and their goals are met, the peace of mind and clarity for the family that we all talk about, that's definitely one of the perks that they're taking away. But the stress factor, we talk about peace of mind, but I don't think anybody really truly harps or highlights on the stress level that some clients feel over this and that immense relief they have once this is done. But better organization during incapacitation and death, we already discussed, but the client feels that too. That's not just you that experiences that in regard to that management of their assets, but the client feels that as well. Their surviving spouse, their beneficiaries feel that. And then again, they have a clear path to understanding and completing their funding instructions. Most clients don't receive specific instructions like we provide. This is a whole nother realm of to-dos. And we do it so clearly and so concisely, it makes it difficult for them not to accomplish these tasks. And we also perform a lot of the tasks for your clients, whereas most other estate planning services would not do this. We are doing it for them. We are doing it for you. We are giving everybody as few tasks as possible. That is one of the huge benefits of working with us. So what do we do? AEP helps advisors offer attorney quality estate planning through a turnkey partnership at no cost to the advisor and without additional workload. So I mentioned that advisors are asked to do more than ever. And I want to dig into this. Not only are you expected to be knowledgeable and provide services in another field of study where a misstep or an oversight has real lasting consequences, you're also physically and financially tasked with implementing and handling the associated costs. And I know you get it. You know estate planning matters. But how do you accomplish this? Adding another subscription, a system, or internal process isn't always the answer. This is where we come in. AEP, like DMI, exists to remove friction from your day-to-day operations. We're here to bolster you and help you reach a new level of success. We provide low effort, no cost ways for advisors to deliver estate planning that strengthens your relationships, uncovers new opportunities, and supports long-term retention without disrupting how you run your practice. There's no subscription cost again. There's no staff training required. We handle all the preparation, the execution, and the funding support. We do the heavy lift so you can focus on what you do best and help us ensure that their financial plan and their estate plans are aligned. I'm going to take a sip of water and I'm going to let you all see your peers' testimonials and let them do the talking for me for a minute. So what stood out to me about these two testimonials was that these two advisors really get it. We're your partner. We are here to help you achieve your goals, to provide comprehensive planning with positive client outcomes, and build a successful firm and future for you, our advisors. That's what we're here to do. We win when you win. We don't want this to be a singular transaction. We want this to be repeat business. The happier we make you and your clients, the more likely you are to come back and utilize our services again. And we don't view this as a short-term relationship. This is a long-term partnership. When you work with us, we are truly vested in you and your success and how we help you achieve your goals. So to sum up the difference, if you're doing this in-house or if you're not offering estate planning services at all, what's on your plate right now, if you decide to take this on or if you're currently doing it yourself, is more coordination on your part, more follow-up, more time drain, and more risk exposure. So what happens when you shift that burden and that risk to AEP? This is what we're designed for. This is all we do. We're not trying to do this on top of our day-to-day. This is our day-to-day. There's less admin for you, less strain, less uncertainty, less friction, and there's more warm instructions. We're known for doing more, we include more, we educate more. We also offer more than estate planning preparation and execution. We support trust funding, plan reviews, and ongoing updates because completed documents alone aren't the goal. Comprehensive plans that are synchronized so clients can achieve their goals now and after their passing, that's the goal. That's the finish line. You do have other options available to help clients achieve their estate plan. You can send clients to a local attorney. And while the client would most likely receive an excellent estate plan, they probably won't receive custom actionable funding instructions. And you almost certainly won't receive follow-up guidance or referrals from the attorney like you would from us. And usually, not always, this tends to be a one-sided relationship. And that doesn't take into account what you actually need to execute the plan and fund it. There has to be some continuing conversation and follow-up. It can't just be a piece of paper that clients are bringing in that says fund your trust. That's not enough. Clients' outcomes and situations are highly specific, and that needs to be accounted for. Anybody who's handing you a general list of instructions is not up to what I consider to be the appropriate standard level of care and consideration for a client. And if that resonates with you, then you may already be considering a do-it-yourself option. This can create some friction and some pain points that we discussed earlier. It pulls you and your staff into processes that you were never meant to run. It increases your risk of stepping into legal territory. And chances are you're only offering it because you're expected to do it all. And you want your clients to have it all. You want to treat them the way you wanted to be treated because you care. If neither of these options sounds like the best fit for you and your firm and its current available resources, AEP is probably an excellent solution for you. We handle roughly 90% of the work, and we work with you to complete the other 10%. So the client's plan is not just effective, it works in real life, not just on paper. With AEP, you're able to help when it counts and stay informed without the risk of unauthorized practice of law. And I need you to know what this does for you and your client relationship too. No matter where the estate plan comes from, your clients still need help updating beneficiaries, titling accounts, and staying aligned as life changes. That's a given. We educate clients on your role in the process. We never displace your relationship with your clients or diminish the value of having you as their advisor. We highlight it. We showcase it. Clients see your expertise in action. They and those who survive them become more invested in working with you in the long term. And remember, we're helping you uncover planning opportunities like excess cash, life insurance needs, long-term care, and business succession planning. When it makes sense, we tee up warm introductions for you with qualified prospects. And we do this through beneficiary and successor trustee meetings, which can significantly reduce your prospecting costs, which I mentioned earlier. And finally, and this is the best part, there's no downtime. If you decide that you want to offer estate planning services, this is turnkey. We just plug right in. There's no new subscription, there's no staff training, just a stronger, more holistic firm without any additional weight on your shoulders. Again, we're here as a partner. The goal is to make you more valuable to your clients while protecting your resources and adhering to our industry's compliance rules and regulations. AEP is your solution. We are estate planning outsourced. We are a comprehensive outsourced service. We're the first of our kind, and I believe we are the very best at what we do. We're here to empower you and your clients. We include the little things in our pricing, so clients are more likely to complete their plans and their follow-up tasks. We avoid add-ons whenever possible. We educate along the way so clients understand their plans. They understand the why and the what's next. We make it easy for you to reap the rewards without the work or the risk. And on top of that, we give you the opportunity to continue doing what you do best, which is offering top-notch financial services, planning, advice, without worrying about trying to offer it all. And for those who are currently partnered with DMI, we're going to take it a few steps further. We have perks just for you. We're going to cover that in just a minute. I want to highlight a few other things that are on here. White glove deed services and e-recording, free print, tab, and ship services, mobile notary services are included, visual estate plan summaries. We have marketing, educational, and operational resources. We offer estate plan and trust funding reviews. I know I mentioned that earlier, but I think that's really important to mention again. basic trust administration services as well. Our trust administration services are highly competitive as far as pricing and what we offer. And then powers documents. We do offer powers documents to clients' adult aged children. And then the plans that we offer are revocable trust-based estate plans, will-based estate plans, and then those powers packages. So now that you know what we do, I need to cover what we can't do. One, let's say what we don't do. We're not your competitor. We're not here to take over assets under management. While I'm a former financial advisor, that is not my current profession. I have no interest in doing that. I'm here to help you and boost you and your level of success. We're not providing specific legal advice. We are non-attorney estate planners. And then we're not risk tolerant. High risk plans are going to be filtered out. Like anyone else, we've got a few short disqualifying questions. If clients are looking to disinherit spouses, children, leave money to non-family caregivers, the basics, the standard questions everyone would ask, those are our same disqualifying questions. And then who are we good for? We feel like we're a great fit for 85, 90% of your clients, but that's not all of them. We talked about those disqualifying questions earlier, and that's when we would screen out that 10 or 15%. So the disqualifying questions is one of the ways or one of the methods, our safeguards that we have in place. So what are a few others? Clients sign an assistance disclosure with us outlining our role, your role, their role in the process. And when they pay us, what happens with those funds? Who else are we paying on their behalf? Because when clients pay AEP, they're not paying anyone else. We take care of everything from that point on. There are no additional fees. The client's not going to receive a bill on the back end. That's everything. We also can guarantee that clients are working with highly qualified professionals throughout the process. There is no 1-800 number that they are going to call and have someone else answer that has no clue what they're talking about. They are working with estate planners and estate plan coordinators, tax professionals, highly qualified individuals. Then we also have secure systems in place, and we practice minimum data handling. We're never going to ask your clients for social security numbers or account numbers. We gather all that information without getting those specifics. And then if we need any documents, we do have secure document submission portals. We take client safety and security very seriously, and we want you to know that we're here to always do that. That's always going to be a priority for us. And this is how we protect you. We screen risk, we define roles, and we keep the process controlled. What does our process, I keep talking about the process. What does our process look like? So this is it, from getting started to finishing a plan. And you'll see here on the bottom, there's one step that covers first plans only. There's another one that's the subsequent plans thereafter, and that is your introduction to AEP. So we do a quick screening. We make sure that you are who you say you are. We look up your firm and make sure that we've got all the information correct on your form. We do a little bit of research before we call you, gather what information we can, so we're not asking any questions that we can easily get information from online. And then from there, we're deciding how you want to start. So once you understand what we do, once we understand what your firm needs or what you need as the advisor, how do we best get started? And is that a client meeting or a webinar? That's going to be determined by you. But you are also choosing your preferred level of involvement. So some advisors are going to want to attend every meeting, and that's fine. Others might prefer a lighter role. They might truly want us to do it all, keep them updated, and let them know when we need their help with account titling and beneficiary designation updates. And that's perfect too. It's whatever works best for you. In the process, primarily here in step 3 and step 4, we are uncovering issues with asset titling and beneficiary designations. And again, this is one of the parts of the process where we need your help. That's at 10%. This is also where we're going to find new opportunities for you with your existing clients and your prospects. And we're going to have these conversations with you before we have them with the clients, so we can see how you want us to plant these seeds when we're having these client conversations and teeing you up for success. So for clients who are uninsured, this is another big one that's often an area that we find issues with. We may find clients who are well suited for annuities, those who lack non-qualified funds or tax-free retirement vehicles, and maybe they express the needs for concerns over something as simple as long-term care planning. These are conversations that clients might have with us that they might not have had with you. And again, it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It's truly because estate planning is a very raw, unfiltered process. Clients have to bear it all, tell it all. We have to know what's going on so we can do and provide the best service possible. We're also looking at their children's unique needs. Oh, sorry, y'all. Oh, you just heard my Southern too. So we're also looking at their children's unique needs and what opportunities might arise from those. A great example is I was working with somebody the other day. They had guardians who were out of state. The guardians would need to relocate so the children could stay in their current school. They love their current school. They have an excellent state university and they want the children to attend college there. That guardian needs to relocate. We needed to come up with a source of funds for the guardian to pay for these services. So our client considerations and funding instructions, I keep talking about these, they go beyond the basics. I mentioned this, and it's not just a general sheet of information. It is highly client specific. And these are things that are worth considering if the client wants to achieve their goals. We're not putting fluff or filler in there. We're putting things that should be highly considered as actionable items for them to reach these goals. And those are the conversations that you're going to lead with the client. So we will tee everybody up. We will connect the dots for them, but we want you to be in charge. Where does AEP fall within the scope of professionals? I've mentioned tax professionals. You're in the mix. We're in the mix. So where do we envision ourselves and you in the process? The financial advisor is the quarterback. You're the rock star. We're just the support team nerds. We're here in this outer ring of supporting professionals, helping you achieve your clients' goals. We're here to provide the services and resources just like any other professional in your network would. And we're designed to help you uncover revenue generating opportunities along the way. This is also a two-way relationship where some of these others may not be. So what do clients actually receive? One is a comprehensive estate planning. And if you can do me a favor and look at that provided by column, I just want you to see where you are in the process. And this is in the instructions portion. Those are the funding instructions and trustee and beneficiary meetings. We want you to be there. We want you to meet the successor trustees and the beneficiaries. This is one of the ways that we strengthen your client bonds and we protect your book of business during the great wealth transfer. If you can attend the meeting, please attend the meeting or send somebody from your firm to attend it. These are highly valuable opportunities and they are excellent mining opportunities for prospects if the successor trustee is not already one of the adult children or family member that you know. Clients are receiving web ready, so electronic emergency packets. They have their trust funding support. There's zero subscription fees for the clients either. By trust funding support, what I mean by that is that if the client goes out and purchases a new vehicle and they want to know how to title the vehicle, they can call us and ask us. We are happy to help them. We're not going to charge the client for that phone call. We are here to help. We want their plan to stay on track, not become derailed over something as simple as a vehicle and find themselves in probate because of it. So our expectations of advisors that work with us are very simple. It's submit new clients using our intake form. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for you to do. We gather basic client information before we have a call with them. And when you begin working with us, we would really like for you to watch a quick video. It's about 3 minutes long. I think it might actually be a little bit shorter, just to learn the lingo and understand what we're talking about so you can keep up with conversations if you are new to this or brush up on skills, maybe if it's been a while since you discussed estate planning. And then we want you to join a quick call with us privately to give us your insights on the client before we reach out to the client. You can send us email instructions. You can have a phone call with us. This is whatever works best for you. We just want your input on the client before we do this. And then we always want you to complete any funding related tasks that we send your way. Why AEP and DMI? I think this is my one of my favorite slides in this. If you currently work with DMI, I think this will resonate with you. If you are considering DMI, I hope that my words have a little bit of weight, and I hope that you see the value in them. So we have a long-standing relationship with DMI and a deep respect for its advisors. I was in your shoes. I used DMI. My business and this partnership is built on real-world advisor needs. And together, AEP and DMI are here to help you achieve your goals and your clients' goals. Between the two of us, the mutual goal is simple. We're committed to helping you simplify your day-to-day operations, achieving your goals for growth, client retention, client satisfaction, and increasing your value proposition simultaneously. This is about alignment. DMI knows what great advisors need, and AEP was built to help you deliver estate planning in a way that protects your relationships, fits your practice, promotes your firm's growth, and maintains your excellent reputation. So how do we get paid? Clients pay AEP very similarly to what they would do in a normal day-to-day practice. They would go to a local estate planning attorney and they would pay the local estate planning attorney, not pay the advisor or ask their advisor to pay for their estate plan. Clients will pay us directly. We have flat planning fees. Our planning fee includes a lot. It is everything that is needed to get the plan done. It includes the deed transfer for their primary residence. It includes mobile notary services. It includes print tab and ship services, custom funding instructions, and someone to actually guide them through the execution when they're meeting with their mobile notary. We do everything so there's as few hurdles and hiccups as possible for the clients along the way. And then it's $16.75 for a will-based plan. And again, that includes everything that I mentioned, minus the deed transfers because it's a will-based estate plan. And then clients have a choice. They can book a consultation with us for $125. When they do this, if they want to just have that general chat, and this is for clients who might not be ready to move forward, if they want to have that general chat and they choose to move forward within 90 days afterwards, that cost is then applied or deducted from the total price of their plan. So when would fees increase with us? Fees would increase when there is additional complexity. And there are unavoidable fees tied to additional assets like businesses and deed transfers. So if that's the case, in these situations, we are addressing an expanded scope. We're not adding arbitrary fees. And I already went over the consultation with you. But one other thing I want to talk with you about with our pricing is that for advisors with an in-house notary that can host local clients for their estate plan signings, again, we love showcasing your benefits and the benefits specifically that you and your firm bring to the table. And our system highlights these savings for the clients. So clients will immediately see that your value-added service has saved them a significant amount of money because it deducts the price that is embedded in our fee for those mobile notary services. So for a trust-based estate plan, they're going to see their plan price drop by $200. That's a big benefit for clients, and we want to point that out. We try and showcase and highlight what it is that you bring to the table as the advisor by offering these things. Alrighty. So where I'll leave with pricing and our cost to work with us is that we've built the model this way on purpose. We only win when you win. We only win when you continue to provide referrals and send clients to us. We are here to help you. We are here to make sure that your clients have an excellent experience with us, and that we continue to help you strengthen and build your relationship with a client. So for DMI, these are the advisor benefits. These are for the advisors that are currently signed with DMI. We are offering free webinars. is, I think, an amazing opportunity for you to mine your current clients. If you gather your clients, we will host a Zoom for them. We will show them the estate planning ropes. And all we're asking is that you have a minimum of 10 households. If you can get a minimum of 10 people together, we will provide you with a free webinar. That's about a $1,350 value. And we will give you our time and allow your clients to see that you are the professional with these relationships in place. And if you're just building a business and you're trying to think about ways to drum up traffic, if this is your friends, this is still a great idea because your friends are now geared up with this information and they see what you're bringing to the table and then they're telling their friends about it. And that's that word of mouth, that organic marketing and prospecting that we're all, searching for, hopefully. So free consultations if you stayed until the end. Let me go back. Oops, sorry. Free consultations if you stayed until the end. We're going to give you discount codes for 2 free client consultations. This is a value of $250. Please use them. We are here to answer your clients' questions. And if anything else, think of these as a mini coaching session. Join in, listen to the conversation if your clients are okay with that. And hear our explanation for clients in our crash course on estate planning that we go through in these introductions. And free marketing materials. We have great resources for blog posts. We've got PDF handouts. We have videos for clients and you, website content. If you're looking for something to post on the website about your new estate planning partnership with AEP, we've got it all prepared. All you need to do is just fill in your name and your contact information for the most part. That co-branded view that I think we all love. So those are the DMI advisor benefits. I really hope that you will take me up on the webinars, the consultations, and please use our marketing materials. They're great. We spent a lot of time on them. I hope that you'll take advantage of them. So what does it look like to get started with AEP? If you want to move forward with us in our outsourced estate planning services, super, super simple. You could finish it by the time we finish this. It's so simple. So you would need to go to our website and fill out our intake form. Here's a picture of our website. Right under resources, there's advisor resources, and you're going to select advisor intake form. If you can fill that out, that will tell us everything we need to know about you and your firm before we start doing that quick background check, just to make sure that you are who you say you are, and moving forward with your introductory call, which is 30 minutes to an hour. It depends on how many questions you have. We're here to answer everything that we can. If we need to stay a little later, we will, schedule permitting. But we just want to make sure that you understand the process and how we can best serve you. So I kept mentioning in the presentation that advisors are forced to do it all. I don't think I've ever heard of another profession, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't point this out, that this is the only profession I've ever heard of to this extent, where somebody is expected to do it all, know it all, and offer everything to be considered competitive. And that is just not realistic. I think every advisor reaches a point where they think, this is impossible. I cannot do this and continue to offer the services that I should be offering, which is providing top-notch financial advice, planning, and services, and try and offer these ancillary services as well. I'm stretched too thin. My staff is stretched too thin. So my parting words to you are that no person should feel forced to offer it all, to do it all, and to be an expert in all things to succeed or survive in their chosen profession. That is what outsourcing is about. It's about selecting the right partner to outsource with. I said this in the beginning of the presentation. We are a one-of-a-kind firm, and I believe that we are the best at what we do, even in the scope of what we do, not only because we're the only ones, but because of the level that we're doing this at. So I hope that you will give us the opportunity to show you what we can do and how we can help boost you and your firm and your clients' goals and wishes. So I've got time for Q&A, and I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share. I'm going to leave up my information here for a little bit if anybody has any questions or if they want to jot that down, and know that you'll get it in the email afterward too.
Katie, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So we did get a lot of questions throughout the presentation. So just let me know if it's something you covered or maybe just give it a quick little summary.
Sure.
Are you helping to transfer real estate as personal property, and do you provide recording services as well?
Yes, we do have white glove deed services, personal property. Let's talk about that versus real property. So, real property, real estate. Yes, absolutely. Personal property, we will give the client guidance. Most of the time, personal property is a really simple process. And if it's not a simple process, that's something that we'll walk the clients through specifically. Just depends on the state that you live in. But yes, we will help clients with personal assets.
And then what is the average cost to clients?
Uh, $3,180. Most clients have a single family home. They don't own a vacation home or an investment property. So that deed service takes care of that. So what clients see is actually what they pay.
And could you talk about, how involved you are, if at all, with the funding process?
We're highly involved with the funding process. We are not giving financial advice. I want to make that really clear. We do not give the client financial advice. We provide considerations for the clients and we tee you up to have those conversations. So, our typical funding process is meeting with you before we meet with the client to go over our funding tasks and the considerations that we are proposing to the client. Then, once we have a discussion with you about how you want to tee those up, how you want to approach those in that conversation, then we schedule that meeting with the client if it's not scheduled already. And you're included in that conversation. While we're having that conversation, we're relying on you. We're saying, let's talk to John and see what John thinks. Let's talk to Tyrell. Let's ask Tyrell about his opinion. This is what we're asking you to consider, but let's hear their thoughts on it. They're the expert. And that's where you're coming into play in that funding process.
I love that. So moving down, rounding out what we charge, what if there's already something established and they need changes to client trusts or wills that are already created?
So a restatement, if it's this is a great question. I love this question.
I
I really do.
aim to please.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. And whoever asked that, thank you. For clients who need, that's a restatement. If it's a significant amount of updates and it's a trust-based estate plan, we're talking about a restatement. So for clients who are looking for a restatement, at that point, how long has it been since their documents were drafted? If it's been more than 5, 10 years, 10, 15, it might be worth updating the plan on a whole.
Mhm.
And that's where a restatement comes into play, is getting all new language. The entire plan is then drafted again. So the trust still has its same name and execution date. So there's not a lot of backtrack when it comes to funding requirements or funding tasks, but that might be an avenue to pursue. And yes, we can help people with that. And that's just processed as a new plan because the clients are getting new language. The unfortunate reality is that nobody wants to work with somebody else's documents. Everybody wants to work with their own documents because we trust them and we trust their level of or comprehensiveness. So for us, if you were to bring an outside plan to us, we could approach this one of two ways. We could give the client some tips on what we feel they might want to consider, help them hone in what needs to be updated, especially if their attorney's fees were unreasonable last time, but it's been done recently and they don't want to go ahead and update all the documents. Then they can go back in there with marching orders. Here's what we need to do. Keep our time at a minimum. We just need to update these things. For clients, most clients just choose to redo their documents. And if they've done their documents with AEP and they need to do a restatement, this is hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars. Our pricing is very reasonable for restatements. Minimal updates are called amendments, and we offer those as well. And again, it's very inexpensive to do an amendment. And in fact, an amendment and a restatement with documents that have been processed through AEP are treated the same way. So no matter what, whether it's an amendment or a restatement, clients are still getting the most comprehensive up-to-date documents whenever they make a change.
And I have one more question. It's two parts.
Okay.
So they kind of go together, even though they're from two different people. And I know we're short on time, but I think it's important. So can we talk a little bit about how clients and prospects react to you being a non-attorney or in general non-attorney planners? And second part is, what relationship should advisors have with attorneys?
I think I'm going to answer the second part of the question first because I think that's the most simplistic. which is you should have a relationship with local estate planning attorneys. You should have a relationship with local attorneys in general, in different professions and specialties. You should absolutely have that. There are going to be clients that we cannot work with, and we are going to ask them to go to you and potentially provide a referral or see who you may have had a good experience with in the past. So you need these relationships in place. We're not right for everybody. Most clients, after they meet with us, the non-attorney factor is a non-issue. They've already met with an attorney and they've seen the difference between their level of education and time spent in the introduction versus ours. We really do take a pride in our introductions with clients and how we educate them and the depth that we go into with this process. We're not just throwing a stack of papers at them saying, fill this in and bring it back. We are guiding them through this process. And that's what they want. They want somebody to hold their hand. And frankly, that's probably one of the only reasons why we have such a high completion rate of estate plans is because we do that. So us being non-attorneys, I would say is a non-issue for most clients. Sometimes, yeah, but hey, that's to be expected. And that's, their preference and that's okay. But we're experts in our fields and that's why we're here and that's why we're successful. So hopefully they'll look at those factors as well.
Thank you, Katie. Hey, I just wanted to thank you for the offer on the webinars. Mining Advisors books for opportunities there is huge, and for you to offer that free to our advisors is highly appreciated. And then the free consultations. So I'm just wondering, from Tyrell's perspective, what that means to you, Tyrell, and what Katie's services have meant to you in terms of your understanding.
Yeah. So one, I'd just say one thing that, and not specifically related to your question there, Glenn, but one thing that Katie brought up on that I've seen this happen when I've reviewed estate plans from my own personal clients that have been done through attorneys, and this goes back to some of the questions on the funding of the estate plan. Oftentimes, attorneys will give just a document as part of the estate plan that says you need to fund your estate plan. Here's some suggestions, go do it. An unfunded estate plan is, in my opinion, for the most part, a worthless estate plan outside of the powers piece.
I would agree.
So they just pay thousands of dollars for an estate plan that then does nothing. And I've come across this so many times. And as I talk to the client and say, by the way, your estate plan is not funded, and the most common response is, I thought my attorney did that. There's a large misunderstanding around the funding of the estate plan. So that is a massive benefit with Katie's firm, is that they are, they are leading that within, their plan and helping the advisor to make sure that the client's plan is funded so that it actually gives the client benefit. So that's massive, massive help. And then, were you going to mention something, Katie?
I was. I think I'd be do myself a disservice if I didn't point out the fact that for years, I've been creating funding tools, resources, articles, guides, not just for AEP, but for other companies. So these are other estate planning platforms that are coming to me for funding instructions and guidance and writing those tips, tricks, and tools for you. So if you've read anything on this in the past, chances are you probably read something that I've wrote and you just didn't realize it. The only difference with this is that you're coming to the source.
That's awesome. And that's the thing, is that the funding is so important. And it's one of the pieces that, in my opinion, is probably the most missed piece for something that's missed within the estate plan. And like I said, it renders that side of it, the trust package side, renders it useless, essentially, because there's no assets there for it to take care of. So, and then when it comes to the offer of doing the webinars and being able to get in front of your current book of clients, that is also a massive benefit. Oftentimes, as I've talked with my reps and talked a little bit about estate planning, it's something that oftentimes I've heard back from reps of, I don't necessarily feel confident in having that discussion. I don't know how to broach the subject. Maybe I've had an estate planning attorney, but either had a bad experience with them, or they've retired or whatever. So oftentimes they don't have the resources necessary. and they don't broach the subject often with their clients due to a myriad of different reasons. But Katie had already pointed out several of those of why they don't. So having Katie as somebody there that can do this and be able to hold a webinar for your current clients for them to be able to attend and learn and understand the estate planning process is massive. The other thing that it does is I've talked with so many reps that when I ask what their client's trying to accomplish with certain dollars that they have earmarked for something, there's sometimes I think that things are missed because their reps often leave off the estate planning questions, and so they might not understand or realize. And I've seen this with my own clients as I ask questions about what do you want to, do you have a dollar amount that you want to leave to your children, or is there something do you have some goal in mind to do that? Oftentimes clients do, and if we're not asking those estate planning type questions, we don't understand and some what the client's trying to accomplish, and sometimes we miss planning opportunities within the financial planning side of utilizing products that will accomplish that better. So this is a great opportunity for Katie to be able to be asking some of those questions and maybe get to some of that information to provide back to you to say, hey, they're really trying to accomplish X. Maybe their current situation isn't set up to accomplish that. And then with working with DMI, we can, some of those products like life insurance and things like that, we could utilize within the estate plan to ensure that we're actually accomplishing what the clients want. And unless if you're asking those questions and diving deep into the estate planning side, you might miss some of that. And so by utilizing Katie's, resources, she'll help to be able to uncover some of those opportunities.
Tyrell, I feel like that comes into play too when clients have plans already, existing plans, is you'll ask a client what their estate planning goals are. And oftentimes their goals are either one, unrealistic with their current list of assets, or two,
Yep.
there's no thought that's gone into how they're actually going to accomplish those goals.
Yep.
The goals being what was listed in the original estate plan. I'm not saying their goals with you, like you haven't discussed their financial planning goals, but their goals within the estate plan. That's
Yep.
something that we see a lot of with existing plans is really lofty goals and expectations, but no real means in achieving them. So that's definitely something that's worth. If your client says they have an estate plan, I mentioned this in the presentation, that's great, but that's not the same thing as having a comprehensive plan that's effective and
For
reflects
sure.
their current goals and wishes. You got to do more than ask if they have an estate plan. You need to see it.
Yep. Agreed.
Well, guys, I really appreciate everything. It's been fantastic, and I know there was a lot communicated today. And please reach out to Tyrell with any questions. So I've got his phone number there, and well, the email's not on here, but go ahead and reach him at 781-919-2368. But I believe it's tjensen@dmi.com. And
It is.
right. So
Yep.
thanks again, Tyrell, Katie, and
Hey,
Ray.
Glenn,
Give us-
I forgot to mention, if we have advisors that join AEP today that fill out that advisor intake and schedule that introduction, we're going to give them two additional consultations for free. So $500 instead of $250 by
Okay.
filling out that advisor intake today.
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks again. We'll have at it, everybody. So jump on that. Today's the day. And thanks for your time, everyone that attended. And we look forward to seeing you on the next DMIU webinar. So have a great Wednesday. Take care.